Welcome to the state of Ohio. I'm Karen Kassler. The May 3rd primary will feature all statewide offices along with legislative and congressional candidates. That's as of now, because the Ohio Redistricting Commission has passed both sets of maps, and the Secretary of State has directed boards of elections to add the candidates in the new House, Senate, and congressional districts to the ballot. But those Republican-drawn maps, which passed only with Republican support, are still facing legal challenges that could force the primary into chaos, causing it to be split into two events or moved entirely. Here's Statehouse correspondent Andy Chow with what happened this week in redistricting.
The commission approved a congressional map that creates 10 Republican districts, 3 Democratic districts, and 2 very competitive districts that lean in favor of the Democratic candidates. The map was adopted by a vote of 5-2, with only Republican commissioners approving the plan. That means the map would only last 4 years. Now, Democratic commissioners raised objections to the map, saying it did not reflect Ohio's voter preference in proportion to the 15 districts. About 54% of Ohioans vote Republican, but the GOP has the advantage in more than 66% of the districts.
We can right now meet and discuss, as long as it takes, to get this done, to come to some agreement, get to a map that will pass constitutional muster, that will get bipartisan support, will be in effect for 10 years, and will allow us to conduct elections. And it's really that simple.
Republican Senate President Matt Huffman argued that the commission followed the anti-gerrymandering requirements they are bound to follow by the Constitution. He says the section of the Constitution that says a map must not unduly favor one party over another does not apply to map making this far into the process.
The Constitution says if there are specific districts that the court has criticisms, then you need to address that. That's exactly what we did.
The congressional district plan is now subject to possible objection by voter rights advocates, community organizations, and a national Democratic group in the Ohio Supreme Court. The Republican commissioners say Ohio will still be able to hold a primary on May 3rd, as long as the court doesn't take any further action on their state legislative and congressional district maps. The legislative maps are already being challenged. Lawmakers appropriated an additional $9 million in funds for local boards of elections to make up for the time lost with the maps in limbo. The Ohio Association of Elections Officials said in a letter that they're grateful to have additional money to hire more people, but what they really need is more time. They've asked for the primary to be moved, saying many counties no longer have the ability to run a successful full primary on that date. Andy Chow, Statehouse News Bureau.